Hi there, I'm Ngọc Duy, and this is your daily update from VietnamPlus News, where we bring you the stories that matter the most.
Prime Minister, trade talks with US must be placed in overall bilateral relationship. Vietjet, AV Air Finance Inc. $300 million agreement to boost fleet growth. Vietnam aims for double-digit economic growth with tourism boost. Car Ham mat weaving craft recognized as national heritage. Vietnam showcases Dong Ho folk paintings in Paris, seeking UNESCO's recognition.
Chairing a meeting between standing cabinet members and leaders of ministries, sectors, and localities on April 10th, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh has underscored that negotiations with the U.S., following President Donald Trump's announcement of a 10% tariff on various trading partners, including Vietnam, with a 90-day delay, must be considered within the broader context of the Vietnam-U.S. relations. He directed the immediate formation of a negotiating team led by the Minister of Industry and Trade to engage with the U.S. on a balanced and sustainable reciprocal trade agreement. The government leader highlighted the importance of maintaining domestic stability, investor confidence, and political security, contributing to peace, stability, cooperation, and development in the region and the world. The Prime Minister called for adopting active and flexible fiscal and monetary policies, maintaining sufficient foreign exchange reserves, reducing lending interest rates, and expanding credit packages to support businesses, and accelerating public investment disbursement to create jobs and contribute to growth. He also emphasized the need to improve the investment and business environment, support companies in adapting to new conditions, establish a national investment fund and portal, and capitalize on existing free trade agreements. This marked the fourth time the Prime Minister had called officials to implement directions from the Politburo and Party General Secretary to Lum regarding the U.S. new tariff policy.
Vietnam's new age carrier Vietjet Air and AV Air Finance have signed a financial agreement worth $300 million, bringing the total trade ties between the airline and the U.S. to $64 billion. The signing was witnessed by Vietnamese Deputy Prime Minister Ho Duc Phuc and other senior government officials as part of their working visit to promote U.S.-Vietnam economic and trade relations. The agreement is part of a broader series of aircraft financing deals totaling over $4 billion that Vietjet has secured with leading U.S. financial institutions. These commitments aim to support Vietjet's new fleet development plan, with the projected delivery of nearly 300 aircraft between 2025 and 2027. In 2025, Vietjet will begin taking delivery of the first batch of Boeing 737 MAX aircraft, from its landmark order of 200 aircraft, valued at over $24 billion.
Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh on April 10 signed for issuance of an official dispatch outlining a plan to accelerate tourism development, aiming to drive double-digit economic growth. The Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism has been tasked with leading this effort. Priorities include launching the tourism stimulus program for this year and beyond, diversifying and improving tourism products and services, accelerating digital transformation and green transition in tourism development, collaborating with the People's Committees of Provinces and centrally run cities to enhance accessibility and convenience for tourists. It was also asked to partner with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to leverage Vietnam's diplomatic missions for tourism promotion, urge tourism companies to establish overseas offices, and tap the overseas Vietnamese community to expand markets. Other specific tasks were also assigned to relevant ministries, heads of the ministry-level and government agencies, the National Tourism Steering Committee, and chairpersons of the People's Committees of Provinces and centrally run cities. Vietnam welcomed 17.6 million foreign visitors last year, a 39% annual surge, generating 840 trillion Vietnam dong, $33.6 billion in revenue, up 24%. The first quarter of 2025 set a record with over 6 million foreign tourist arrivals, a 29.6% year-on-year rise. This year, the sector expects to welcome 22 to 23 million foreign visitors and serve 130 million domestic travelers, with 12 to 13% revenue growth.
On April 10th, the Mekong Delta province of Tra Vinh held a ceremony to announce the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism's decision to include the Kar Ham mat weaving craft of the Khmer ethnic community in Ham Tan Commune, Tra Cu district, in the list of National Intangible Cultural Heritage. Dating back to the late 19th century, the craft is one of the Khmer people's traditional occupations, passed down through generations. It is mainly practiced in Ham Tan Commune. At present, around 91 households continue the craft, producing more than 32,800 mats annually. The products are primarily sold locally and in neighboring provinces such as Sac Trung and Vinh Long, with a small quantity exported to Cambodia. Kar Ham mat weaving becomes the 8th intangible cultural heritage of Tra Vinh province, and the first traditional craft to be recognized in this category.
The northern province of Bac Ninh, in collaboration with the Vietnamese Ministry of Foreign Affairs, successfully hosted an event in Paris on April 9th evening, showcasing Vietnam's rich cultural values and pushing for UNESCO recognition of Dong Ho folk paintings as an intangible cultural heritage in need of urgent safeguarding this year. Guests experienced Dong Ho painting firsthand. President of the UNESCO General Conference, Simona Mireille Miculescu, crafted her own piece, while Aulid Mardawi from the Algerian delegation marveled at the craft's intricacy, likening it to a precursor of modern printing and contemporary art.
I am deeply moved because exactly 1 year ago, I visited Hanoi on an official trip as president of the UNESCO General Conference, and it was one of the most unforgettable journeys of my life. And now, I am truly proud to be able to create a Vietnamese chicken painting with my own hands.
They also enjoyed other Vietnamese folk traditions like calligraphy, tour hair, handcrafted figurines made from rice dough, and loved duet singing. The event carries special significance as it coincides with the 135th birth anniversary of President Ho Chi Minh, recognized by UNESCO in 1987 as a hero of national liberation and a great man of culture.